Learning Python programming questions and answers. So the question is, what is the use of pickle module in Python programming? So the pickle model in Python programming provides a way to serialize and deserialize the Python objects to and from the binary data. Serialize means here converts the data state to a bytes stream, and which can be stored in a file or transmitting over the network. And deserialization means reconstructing the object from the binary stream. Here in this example, we can see that the pickle models provides two main functionality for serialize and deserialize. So pickle dumps and pickle loads. So pickle dumps function serialize a Python objectives to a bytes stream, while the pickle dump function deserialize the byte stream to a Python object. So here in this example, uh, a, a sample Python object data is defined as a tuples 1 to 3, and then pickle dump and the data that tuples that we have defined serialize the object to a byte stream, and which is loaded in a variable named as serialize data. And then finally pickle load serialized data deserialize the byte stream back to the Python objective at the receiver side, which is stored in the variable deserialized data. And the print statements print the original object data, then serialized byte stream serialized data, and deserialized byte stream data. So this is the way we can summarize that this pickle model in the Python is this: the model provides a convenient way to save and restore the Python objectives, and it is useful in many situations such as caching, data storage, inter-process communications. It is also important to know that it should be used with very careful, especially when the deserialized data from an untrusted source, since it can be execute arbitrary code during the deserialize. How to use the JSON model in Python programming? So the JSON model in the Python is used for encoding and decoding the JSON JavaScript object notations data. JSON is a lightweight data interchange format that is easy for the humans to read and write and easy to machine to parse and generate. To use the JSON model, we first need import the model JSON, import JSON, and then we can encode a Python object to the JSON string using the JSON dump, and decode a JSON string back to the Python object using JSON loads. So dumps and the load is the same as the pickle that use the same name. And here in this program, that a simple Python object data is defined as a tuples 1 to 3. JSON dump function is used to convert this object into the JSON string, which is stored in the JSON data variable, and then the JSON load functions is then used to convert the JSON string back to the Python object, and which is stored in the JSON data variable. And finally the print function is used to display the original Python object, serialize JSON data, and deserialize the Python object. The question is, what is the difference between the pickle and JSON model in the Python? So this question is continue with the previous two questions. So pickle and JSON, both models in the Python are used to serialize and deserialize the data, but they have different in some kind of functionality. So first is the uses. So JSON is preferred for the data interchange between the systems or between the programming language, while the pickle is performed for serialize and deserialize the object within a single Python environment. Being as a format point of view, pickles is the binary format, while the JSON is a text format support. And the another difference is that the pickle support any Python object, complex object with the multiple references and other things, while the JSON support a limited set of data types such as uh, dictionaries, list, number, string, boolean, and null values. Compatibility point of view, the JSON is a widely used data interchange format that is compatible with many programming languages, while the pickle is a Python specific format that may not be compatible with the other programming language. And performance point of view, pickle is generally faster than the JSON, for serialized and deserialized, but it is not edge efficient for transmitting the data over the network due to its binary format. And in summarize, we can say that the pickle is suitable for use within a single Python environment when speed and the flexibility are required, while the JSON is suitable for transmission data between the system or between the programming language in a human readable format. The question is how to use date time models in Python programming. So date time models in the Python provides class for working with the dates and the time. And some of the important features of date time models are: one is create date and time object. So with the help of date time models, we can create a date time object using the date time class. Datetime class takes arguments for the years, month, day, hours, minutes, seconds, and even in the milliseconds. And it also helps to get the current date and time using the new method in the datetime function. It also provide format date time using the strf time methods of the datetime class. And you can also calculate the difference between the date and the time using the date diff class. And you can also extract the various part of the date time object using its attributes such as year, month, day, hours, minute, second, and the millisecond. So in the given source code, that first import the date time model which provide the functionality of such functionality, then get the today date and time with the help of date time now, and then print this value. And after that printing the value, that we can extract that today. So if you write the today, you will get the information about the today, and print the year, month, and date. So in right hand side in the red color text, that indicate that here that year, month, and day, and then calculate the differences between this and whatever we have calculated. So it shows that the differences between the dates. So date 1 and date 2, difference between the date 2 minus date 1. So it helps to find out the differences of this one to date, or the uh, age and other things. Yeah. Question is how to use the collection model in Python programming. So the collection model in Python provides additional data structure that are more efficient and have additional features compared to the built-in type of the Python. The question is that how to use the collection models in Python programming. So the collections model in Python provides additional data structure that are more efficient and have additional features compared to built-in type of the in data in Python programming. And there are several classes available in this model. One is the counter, and this class counts the occurrence of the items in a collection and provide the useful methods for working with the count data. And default dix is this is the class similar as to standard dictionary, but it returns a default value for the key that does not exist in the dictionary. And order dictionary, this is also the class in the dictionary that remain the order in which the item were inserted. And dq is the class doubly ended queue that support the fast addition and removing of the data from the both end. And so here in this given example, that we create the counter object from a list of the string, and the most common method is then used to print the three most commonly string and their count. So we can say that a, b, a, c, a. So a most occurrence in the 2 times, and b 1 times, and c again 1 times. The question is what is the use of the item tools models in Python programming. So item tools model in the Python provides various functions that works with itertools and can be used to build complex and effective algorithm for processing large data sets and data streams. And it is often used to generate itineraries for effective looping over the data. And we can say the common features of item tools are: number one is the count, generate an infinite sequence of the number starting from a specific number if you use the count. Cycle is also another that is functions. So cycle through a sequence infinity, and chain multiple sequence into a single sequence, zip longest, zip multiple sequence, filling in the missing values with a specific value. And product functions, they generate the uh, canonical product of the multiple sequence, and permutations, they generate all the possible permutations of a sequence. Similar as the combination generate all the possible combination of a sequence. So in this example, the given example, that item tools dot chain function is used to combine the several items into the one. So L1 L2 is the item, and here use the item tools to combine the item 1 and item 2. So it takes multiple iterations as argument, and return a single iterative, and produce the elements of each items in a order. So the order is maintained here: A, B, C, and D. So what is the use of function tools models in Python programming? So function tools models provide a high order functions for manipulating and extracting the behavior of the other functions. And the most common used functions in the function tools are partial, reduce, chem2key, and LRU cache. Here in this example, we can say that the function tools dot parcel is used to create a new function res that add a constant values of 2 to its argument. And in the second example here, that function tool dot reduce is used to apply the add function to all the element of a list, resulting in the sum of the numbers. What is the use of the operator model in Python programming? The operator model in Python provides the functions that can be used to provide various operations on objectives. Instead of writing the operation explicitly, we can use the corresponding functions from the operator module, and this can make the code more readable and uh, concise. So in this example, instead of writing the a plus b to add two numbers, we can use the operator dot add a comma b. Similarly, we can use the operator dot multiply a comma b to multiply two numbers, and operator dot ltab to compare the way whether a is less than b or not. What is the array models in Python programming? So the array models in the Python provides an array object to store the homogeneous element, similar to the list but more memory efficient. It can be used to store a large number of elements of the same type. The basic syntax for creating an array using the array models is array dot array, and type code element 1 2 3 and so on. So here the type code represent the type of the element to store in the array. For example, I represent the integer, f represent the float value, b represent the signed character, and capital B represent the unsigned character in this. So here in this example, we can see that array f is the float values, and we can store the array in the float values, and then we can print the values, and print first element of the array. Since their indexing start from the 0, therefore we can print the first element, and modify array. If you want to modify the value of the index element, then 2.3 modify with the 5.4, then do that way, and so right hand side shows the output of. Now how to use the smtp library models in the Python programming? So smtp lib models in an built-in library in the Python, used for sending email messages using the simple mail transport protocol. It provides a way to interact with the SMTP server to send the emails from the Python script or application. And this model covers various characteristics such as security, encryption, decryption, and other things. And here in this example, that how to use the SMTP model in the Python to send an email. So here we first import the SMTP model and provide the necessary information such as sending email address, receiver email address, email message to the sender, and we then use the SMTP method to create an instance of the SMTP server, and use the login method to authenticate the sender, email address and password. Finally, we use the SMTP method to send the email and print a success message if the email is sent successfully, or print an error message if there is an exception while sending the email in that